This is the 2020 Ram 1500 EcoDiesel Limited. I'm Josh Smith with GuidingMobile.com. I want to show you my favorite features on the Ram 1500. Some of these will transfer across all of them. Some of them you have to go to a higher trim level. This truck right here is at $75,000 and there's a lot of cool features in it. Let's take a closer look. I really like the blacked out appearance of this specific truck that I have in the sun. This black paint sparkles quite a bit, and I'm walking you back here to show you one of my favorite features, which is the Ram box. So I push this and it pops up. You see Ram box right there. In here we can store stuff, and we used this over the weekend while we were getting some work done. You can put about anything you want in here. There's a drain plug down there, so you can actually use this as a cooler, but you can also do some cool stuff like get accessories. So you're gonna be able to mount fishing poles, tools, firearms, whatever you need in here. There is a light that you can turn on. So if we look up here, we see the light. There's a switch here in the back, so I can turn that on and off. If I shut this one and go around to the other side, we'll be able to see that we have a second Ram bin, or a second Ram box. And in this one, we have the switch for the light, and then we also have a standard outlet. So you're going to be able to plug in whether you're working outside the cab or you're doing something in the bed. You can go ahead and get that done. Another cool feature is the Ram bin. So in this model, it's covered by this nice little floor mat here. If I lift this back, I can pull this up, and now I have a pretty deep storage container that's built in. It latches, and what I like about this is if you don't know that there's a Ram bin there, thanks to this weather mat on the Limited, you're not going to see it. We also have these cool tie downs, which I like, so that you can secure cargo in here. This isn't exactly a favorite feature, but I do like it. The seats are really easy to fold up and fold down. That way you can use this back area for cargo very easily. Another thing that I like on this model is the step, which will retract here and go up in. Now this model has 4-corner air suspension, so this will actually go up and down. You can leave it in an aero mode and you can lower it to get in and out. It's really nice. It helps with the ride quality and a handy feature on the Ram 1500. I've shown you this on several different Ram 1500 videos, but it's still one of my favorite features, the multifunction tailgate. So I can pop in right there and I open up one side, and then I grab a little handle here, open up the other side. And what's really handy about this is it lets you get in and out easier. You can see there's mud in here. We were hauling stuff around, doing truck stuff, as you might say. And I like this cargo management system here, so I can pull that, and then I could actually remove this, and you can use that to secure cargo where you want. The tonneau cover here, you can easily go ahead and open that up if you want with just a pop down, and then this will fold up and basically go to the front where you can latch it in place. So with this fabric, or with this soft cover, you still have very easy access to getting in and using most of the bed without taking it completely off. So you can open this regularly just by pushing right there. But what's nice about this is everything that we can do with the key fob on this model. So a double tap there will open the bed. I can even change the ride height from the key fob, and then I can remote start from the key fob as well as lock and unlock. So there's a lot of handy options in here. As we move around to the side here, you can kind of start to see the truck. You might be able to hear it kind of changing, and eventually we'll lower here in a second so that it gets down to that lower ride height, which can be handy if you have someone who needs to get in at a lower height. Another feature that I like, but it's kind of hard to show you right now, is that there are skid plates. We have the off-road package on this, so there's skid plates basically all along the bottom. If this is something that you're going to want to take off-road, that's something that you're going to really like, and it's an option box you're going to want to check. On the Limited, we have a pretty cool back seat. Already showed you those Ram boxes and Ram bins. The back seat is pretty decked out. We have the same cool leather, and we have these cool designs that kind of go throughout the whole Limited. But when we get down here, you'll look, we have 2 USB-C, 2 USB, then we also have heated and ventilated back seats. So if you're in one of the outboard seats back here, you get the same creature comforts as in the front. And then another of my favorite features is this panoramic moonroof. It looks really nice. It opens up the cabin dramatically. I mean, look how much foot space you have back here. There's tons of room in this model. We can pop down the middle if you want more cup holders and a little cubby to store some stuff. Ton of room back here, lots of room for activities, really cool options in the back seat, and lots of little storage cubbies and everything like that. You can see some of this plays along, and then we have Harman Kardon speakers, which sound really good in this model. I can't talk about the limited trim level without talking about the interior. We have really amazing looking leather. There are accents throughout here. You can see them up on the edge of the seat, and they come around through the front of the seat and onto the edges. You start to see some small stitching accents. And as we look around the front cabin, the limited is marked a couple of places, and then I just really like how that same design and style is really incorporated into the front. Over here we also have a few different storage options. So I can pop this open for storage. And we also have a proper glove box down below. So what's great about this huge screen is I'm able to put one thing on the top, one thing on the bottom, and that's what my home screen is. You're able to customize that. Typically I have CarPlay or Android Auto up here and then climate down here. But what's nice about this is we have physical buttons on both sides. So you can control most of the climate options without actually touching this. Also a button to turn the screen off. If the screen is too bright for you, you're gonna be able to quickly toggle that on and off. Down here we have our ride height. We have our controls for our front and rear parking sensors, which are separate, which is handy. And then our tow haul mode. We also have our trailer brake control right here. As you look down here in the bottom, we have a bunch of USB ports, USB-C and standard USB. We also have wireless charging. There's a spot where you can stick your phone in here. We also have a standard outlet down here. So there's a ton of connectivity options. On the Limited, we see that design carry over, and I really like the storage setup that we have here because there's lots of options and it gives us a lot of flexibility. So I can open this once and it gives me access to a cup holder area. I can open this again and I have storage. Now if I open it back up, here you'll see there's a handy little Easter egg with a bunch of calculations and charts and things like that you might find useful if you're on a job site. It's a nice little Easter egg and something that's pretty cool. Now this area here slides around, and this allows you to better utilize all of the storage in here. So we have cup holders, and then we have some storage area for change and other small items in the back. This whole section here will move back and forth. So if I move it forward, then I can use the cup holders with that closed. I have things that I can keep down in here, a hat, some spare parts, tools, whatever, and it's all in the back and it's all hidden from view. Now this whole area here is pretty wide, so it does go all the way to the front, and so I'm able to then keep items I use more regularly up here. And then again, I have that wireless charging as well as the option to put a small tablet or just two phones in here and have them still visible. I'm a big fan of the parallel and perpendicular park assist with stop that's included on the Limited with the Limited Level 1 equipment group. So if I'm driving down the street, I can push the button, the truck will identify a parking spot that my truck can fit into, and then once I pull forward enough, the truck will have me go ahead and put it into reverse, and it will handle the steering and even the braking and put me right into the spot. This is great if you're not used to driving a full-size truck like this, and I like that it also handles parking like you'd find in a parking lot, and it will reverse you in, so that way it's pretty easy to get out. It's a really stellar feature, and it's one that works very nicely. You do have to spend a little bit of time adjusting to trusting the vehicle to get you into the spot, but once you do accept that and put your faith in the vehicle to fit you into that parking spot and to stop you, it works out really nice. Must-have feature. Another excellent feature is the adaptive cruise control with stop and go. So here I can set my speed, set the distance I want with the vehicle in front of me, and I'm going to be able to cruise along at highway speeds. Now if I get into traffic, the vehicle will bring me to a stop and then resume as long as it's within a short period of time. So that's something that is really handy. Now a small feature that's pretty cool is you can adjust the pedals using these buttons right here, and that does tie into the seat memory. We have 2 seat memory options that you can use that will control and remember all of your seat and pedal options. The steering wheel is a manual move option, but overall this is a really nice way to share the vehicle between drivers. Now I couldn't talk about the EcoDiesel without mentioning the new 3.0-liter EcoDiesel V6 that's in this. Almost everything is new in this. I think they kept a few parts. I've been getting about 21 miles a gallon, maybe a little bit more in town. On the highway, that bumps up to about 24, 25. It's right in with those EPA estimates. And I really like the ride and drive quality with this engine. It's not a typical diesel feel while you're driving. So if you've been kind of turned off by how some diesel trucks have worked, give this one a shot. Take it for a test drive in town and on the highway. Thanks for joining me to take a look at my favorite Ram 1500 features for the 2020 model. Again, this is the limited with the EcoDiesel. You'll find a lot of these features on other models as well. So you can check out our other videos. We have some walkarounds, we have some reviews. There'll be links down in the description below to where you can read more about these features, learn more about the 1500, and read our full review of the $75,000 2020 Ram 1500 Limited. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.